So, hi everybody. Welcome to World Values Day and Sophrology Centre Online and the International Sophrology Federation. So I can't see how to work out whether you were there or not. Maybe you could do some chat messaging and let me know. So hi, are you there? And maybe you could just chat and let me know who's there. Can see there's some people that are actually on, and just waiting for you to tell me that you can see me. I hope you can see me or hear me on both, actually. Hi, Julia. Nice to hear from you. I have at least one person here with me, but I can see there's a few others. But maybe you haven't managed to talk. It's coming up that I'm Diana Ritchie, but I'm not. I'm using Diana's program. Hi, Resenda. Nice to see you. So during our time together, then we could just keep typing in and using the chat, because I don't seem to manage to be able to hear you. I can't get you to speak to me, but you can use the chat to answer any questions. So today I want to welcome you again to the World Values Day. So because sophrology is so linked with values, it's one of the main parts of sophrology, the sophrology that is the study of consciousness and the values of existence. And values being the fourth level of sophrology, which is the transformational level. And we're going to do an exercise from that level today. So I did a little PowerPoint. So you're going to let me know if you can see this PowerPoint. I'm going to do a screen share now and put on the PowerPoint. And then I'm going to come back and talk with you. So I hope you can, maybe I'm going to put this back off and just tell me if now can you see the PowerPoint? I just need to know if you could say yes if you just managed to see the PowerPoint. Or maybe it's on here because I'm not sure where it is. I have to show it to you. Okay, good. So somebody can see, Julia can see the PowerPoint. So this is just a quick PowerPoint that I'm going to do with you, and then I'm going to come back and speak with you again. I can't seem to do both at once. So sophrology and World Values Day, we're going to just talk a little bit about what is sophrology. I know most of you that are on this webinar at the moment know what sophrology is, but we'll just go over it because the webinar will be online later. So discussion on values, sophrology values exercise, and feedback back from you of your experience of the sophrology exercise. And so one way of describing sophrology is conscious awareness training, is a structured 4-step method leading to optimal health and well-being, and it consists of mind-body exercises that can be done anytime, anywhere. And these exercises fit into daily life very easily. They can be done in your office, on the tram, on the bus, sitting in the park, basically anywhere that you can easily close your eyes and feel safe and be able to do an exercise. So very handy for modern day life. And Caicedo, who created sophrology, Professor Caicedo, he had this vision in 1950s that there would come a time when values were breaking down in society, when things weren't working as well as they were before, that gradually as values break down, or our awareness of our values break down, we become then aware of lots of stress and burnout and basically what's happening in society now. And that vision of his started in the 1950s and was why he created sophrology. So there are 4 levels of sophrology. There's the first level, which is all about being in present time. The sophrology exercises always start with what could be described as mindfulness, which is the body scan, being in present time. And then, of course, they go on much further into visualizations, into physical exercises, very gentle physical exercises. The second level is all about the mind, very aware of where thoughts come from, how we use our mind, every word that we think, every word that we say, all our the visions that we have, the images that we have in our mind, and everything that happens through the mind, our 5 senses that are used inwards as we imagine things. And the third level is all about emotions and past time, just becoming aware of our emotions and then how to manage them, and going into the past time. So the first level is everything's okay now because I'm in present time, everything is fine. In the second level, because we're happy now, we can imagine ourselves being happy in the future. And then the third level is going back in the past and feeding on positive memories, anything that's made us feel happy and confident and our well-being in the past, to grow those as if we're watering our positive memories. And then in the fourth level is transformation. All of this comes together and we realize and experience this oneness, this being part of everything, and also this light that is kind of shining from our inside out. Who we are is being shone, and brightness is going out into the world so that we can give our gifts to others, we can help others, we can inspire others just by being ourselves. It's the strongest place to be, is just to be ourselves and not trying to be something else. So, who can benefit from sophrology? Schools, colleges, businesses, organizations, hospitals, maternity units, sports, athletics, families, relationships. Basically, it has a wide scope of applications. I know that 90% of top Swiss athletes use sophrology. Schools and colleges, many of them throughout France, possibly nearly all of them, are using sophrology. Hospitals and maternity units, some of the big schools in France are actually run by gynecologists. And sophrology has really taken off in Japan, Korea, and France and Switzerland for pre and postnatal care. It has wide applications. And then just getting to our course today, our sophrology session today, the 4 recommended attitudes, the 4 sophrology attitudes, if you like, but they're not special for sophrology. They're used in many disciplines, and I'm just going to remind you of them. Non-judgment, being aware that we're judging. Judging is part of our normal safety. We judge if something is good for us or bad for us, if people are going to be nice or not nice. But it's just a judgment, it's just our perception. It's becoming aware and perceiving these things in different ways and realizing that it's just our perception and we can use different ways and think in different ways. Looking at the world as if it's the first time, like this little chicken that's just come out of the egg. Just being really like a child and exploring with lots of curiosity and wonder. And then the third one is putting in brackets. So putting in brackets everything that we already know, so that we're not looking at the world through preconceived ideas. We're trying to look at all the possibilities and be as objective as we possibly can, or at least knowing that there's more ways of seeing things, of experiencing things, and of perceiving things. And we don't want to be blocked by what we have been told to be that is true, and these kind of things can blind us to what is actually there. And then the fourth one is very important with sophrology, is body awareness, listening to the body, being aware of body sensations, our emotions, how they feel in the body, and the experience of our body as living reality. The experience of each and every sensation in our body as a way of growing in consciousness of ourselves, of the world around us, and basically everything that's happening in our lives. So now I'm going to close this PowerPoint, and we're just going to have a quick chat of what are values, what are your values, and what do you value. I'm going to stop sharing the PowerPoint, coming back online, I hope, maybe. And I'm going to just, not coming back online at all. We'll just, while I'm finding out, I think I'm down here somewhere. There's a little bit of me in the corner. I don't know if you can see me or not, maybe here. Okay, perfect. So you could just type in, what are your values? What kind of things do you value? What would you say was some of your top values? Anything you want to type about about values. So freedom's a nice value. Sharing, honesty. Anything else? What values do you use when you go food shopping? When you're going out to buy food, how do you decide? What values do you use to decide which food to buy? So we've got love, harmony, beauty, compassion, dignity, congruency, responsibility, respect, love and hope, gratitude, quality. That's a nice one. That's the value you use for buying food, quality. What values? Respect for nature, animals, and human beings. Nice. Fair to producer concerning food. Lovely. What values do you use when you decide to buy clothes? What are your clothes values? Comfort, beauty, individuality, being a bit different from others, choosing something that's special, comfort, same as for food, comfort and aesthetics. Lovely. So what values are used in every decision that we make, every tiny decision? We have this hierarchy of values that, and the more we become conscious of these values, the easier it is to make decisions, because we can just say, okay, these are our top 3 values, or even our top 1 or 2 values. Does what I'm going to do now, or what I want to buy, or this decision I want to make, does it coincide? Does it pertain to these values? Are these values my top in this decision? And the more we know what these values are, the easier it is to say, yes, they go with my values, or no, that doesn't match my values. And so it's a very easy, it makes life much easier the more we know about the values that we use for these everyday decisions that we think we're just deciding on. We don't really know how we're deciding or what the criteria are, but in fact, the criteria are our values. So making a list of those can be very helpful. So what? Okay, so I did have. I'm going to put the PowerPoint back on again, and I just had a little list of values as well. So what are your values? What do you value? What do you value? You can write that up as well. What do you value? And I've also just done a quick list of a few values. I've got lists and lists of values. And if you look up on the internet, you can find lists of values. If you want my list of values, it's about 4 pages long. You can send me an email and I'll send it to you. So these are just freedom, responsibility, which go very closely together. If we want to be free and be allowed to do what we like, we then need to realize that we're responsible for the outcomes and the effects of our actions and our words and our thoughts. Dignity, which is one of the top, freedom, responsibility, and dignity are the top 3 sophrology values, and dignity being respect for others, being respect for ourselves, being loyal to who we are. Then we've got courage, generosity. When we're buying things, sometimes we want something to be as cheap as possible, maybe as expensive as possible, maybe somewhere in between. It can be one of the values that we use when we're buying things. And then we've got natural, someone mentioned, for food. Stunning could be clothes. For choosing where to work or where we want to live, quiet or noisy might be values. When we're meeting other people, we might not want to know if they're friendly or not. We might want to be seen as being friendly or not. Dependable, worthy, curious, creative, happy. So all of these values we use when we're making judgments about our decisions, even although we're not supposed to be judging, but we will always judge, but we're just aware that these are our judgments and these are our values that go with the judgments. So any comments on that? Any comments on those different things? I think maybe you didn't see the screen share, sorry. So any comments about the values that you would have when you're meeting other people, values that you would want to have in your friends, that are typically also values that you'd like to have in yourself? Openness, yes, that's a nice one. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go on to the values exercise that has been chosen by Diana, who set all this up for us with the Values Day. And we're going to do an exercise about values, a sophrology exercise. Thank you, Ascender. Warm empathy, authenticity. What we would like in ourselves and friends. And so to do this exercise, if you'd all like to sit comfortably in your chair, it's going to be one without a physical part to it. We're just going to become aware of our values, and we're going to do this sitting. And then in the second part of the exercise, as we actually work with the value and discover the value, we're going to stand up and we're going to clench our hands a little, and we're going to put our hands up and out and our head slightly back. And although we'll have our eyes closed, it's as if we're looking upwards. And we're going to interact with this value in that position. So we'll be standing to do that. We're going to start the exercise just sitting in the chair comfortably. So if you'd like to do that now, if you just like to sit comfortably in your chair and close your eyes. And as we close our eyes, it's just to become more aware of what's going on inside. So just becoming aware of sounds inside the room where you are. And then also of sounds from your own body, your breathing or your heartbeat. And just welcoming those sounds as being part of life without trying to work out what they are. And now focusing on your right hand. Everything that's happening in your right hand. All the physical sensations. Becoming aware of your fingers, your thumb, the back of your hand, the front of your hand, your wrist, your forearm, your elbow, and your upper arm. Becoming aware of the whole of your right arm. And then focusing on your left hand, everything that's happening in your left hand. And your fingers, your thumb, the back of your hand, the front of your hand. Your wrist, your forearm, your elbow, and your upper arm. Awareness of the whole of your left arm. And then making a comparison between your left arm and your right arm. Compare the weight of each. The temperature of each. The size of each. And then becoming aware of your right foot, everything that's happening in your right foot, in your toes, the sole of your foot, the top of your foot, your ankle, your lower leg, your knee, and your upper leg. The whole of your right leg. And then focusing all your attention on the left foot. So if it's the first time you've noticed you have a foot, awareness of the sole of the foot, top of the foot, the ankle, lower leg, knee, and the upper leg. Awareness of the whole of the left leg. And then compare the left leg and the right leg. Compare the weight of each, temperature of each, the size of each. And now focusing on the head, all the physical sensations in the head. In the forehead, the eyes and the muscles around the eyes. The nose, the air that's going in and the air that's coming out. Mouth and jaw. And then becoming aware of the ears, all the muscles in and around the ears. And then the back of the head. Letting your attention go down to the neck and throat, the chest area, all the way down to the abdomen, the stomach area, the lower abdomen. And then all the muscles down the spine. And then becoming aware of the whole body. Awareness of the weight of the body, temperature of the body, size of the body. Now we're going to do a tension release. And for that, we start by breathing out fully. Breathe in fully. Tense the whole body. Tense, 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 tense. And release. And with each out breath, releasing, relaxing, letting go. I'm going to do that 2 more times. Breathe out, breathe in. Tense, 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 tense. And release. And then doing that exercise 1 more time, the tension release at your own rhythm. And now we have what is called an integration pause, which we become aware of everything that's happening in the body now. All those physical sensations are welcome. This is body awareness. Now we're going to become aware of the colors of the rainbow, starting with the color red. Everything becomes red as if I'm looking through red filter. And then orange, bright, juicy orange. And then yellow, yellow like the rays of the sun. And then blue, blue like the blue of the sky. And then green like the green of nature. And then indigo, indigo like the sky at night. And then violet, becoming aware of violet. And then become aware of your breathing. Breathing as if the whole body is breathing and renewing. Awareness of the breath going in and the breath coming out. And again, integration, pause, awareness of everything that's happening in the body now, all the physical sensations. Just really gratitude and appreciation as well for the body. And now, finally, we're going to do the values exercise. And for this exercise, you're going to choose a value that says something to you, whatever you have. Maybe you have a favorite value or just one of the values that we've been talking about today. And for that, we're going to stand up in front of the chair. You have to stand up in front of the chair, feet shoulder distance apart, knees slightly bent, arms just hanging beside your body, and awareness of being upright between the earth and the sky. Now we're going to gently clench our hands and put them up in the air, our arms out, our hands open, head slightly back. And we're going to become aware of that value. Whichever value we've chosen to work on this exercise. Contemplate the value, experience the value, become aware of, discover the value in all its ways of being. And then when you're ready, just bring your hands down, and with your hands, bringing the value down to somewhere in your body, wherever you want to place your hands on your body. Bringing the value down to your body. Become aware, if you can, of any physical sensations related to this value. What's happening in the body now? Become aware of how this value, how you used this value in the past, or how it showed up in your life in your past. Become aware of this value in your life now. How does it show up? How does it used in your life now? And then how would you like this value to be in your life in the future? And bring your hands by your side, and just awareness of all the body sensations, an integration pose standing. And now we're going to choose a second value. We're going to do this with 3 values altogether. Choosing another value, again lifting your hands up and out, the arms out, head back, becoming aware of the second value, another value. Whichever value you like to choose. Interact with this value, discover this value, experience this value in all its dimensions. And then bringing again your hands down and bringing the value down with your hands and just placing it wherever you'd like to place it in your body and being aware of the body sensations of this value. Awareness of this value in your life in the past. This value in your life now. And this value in your life in the future. And then bring your hands down again. Integration pause, awareness of everything that's happening in the body. And then a third value. Choose a third value. Again, lifting the arms up and out, head back. Experiencing and discovering this third value. Again, bringing this value down, placing your hands somewhere on the body, bringing the value into the body, awareness of any physical sensations, how you experience this value. And again, awareness of this value in your past, this value in present time, and how you'd like this value to be in the future. And then feeling for your chair behind, bring your hands down, feeling for the chair behind, and sitting down in your chair comfortably, and just taking a few moments to really experience all those physical sensations that you can now feel in your body. And then still keeping the feelings of well-being that you discover during the exercise, beginning to move the body and stretch the body in the way your body feels like moving, stretching, and expressing itself. Taking all the time that you need, and when you're ready, and only when you're ready, opening your eyes and writing up your experience, just making a few notes somewhere of what you noticed during the exercise, and then just adding to them on chat, just so that I know you can share a little bit of what happened during the exercise. Thank you. So some messages coming in. The value joy stretched my body up and I saw myself a giggly old lady. So nice. We can take these into the future and see ourselves being happy in the future. So while you're writing up, I've just noticed that there's some messages being added, which was that values, by living through my values, I've been able to hold relationships where my values are not being respected. So it's, and sometimes it's difficult to match values in real life. Sometimes there's conflicts with ourselves. And it's just all of sophrology brings to this is just awareness of these things are happening. And once we're aware, we can decide whether to change them or maybe different ways of changing, or maybe discussing them with somebody else to help us knowing how to change. Or just doing the sophrology exercises to change. So here's some more things coming out. I felt that my values are alive in my body. They bring me warmth and make me feel alive. And the values softened my muscles, felt dense, and softened my muscles, and they felt dense, warm. The value love. Human family made me solid and grounded. It's just beautiful what these values, just being aware of values, how that can really transform our lives, and to realize that these are my values. This is what I value in life. These attitudes, these habits, these ways of being. And the more we can be aware of them, the more we can live them and show them out to the world ourselves, and also inspire others to become aware of these values too. Is everybody else still writing, or is anyone else going to add any chat messages? Value love, it's warming my body and my heart. Thank you. Well, love seems to be a very lovely value to have. It's has amazing effects on the body. So in a few moments, we're going to close the session. And so if anybody wants to just type up what they got out of this session today, of how the World Values Day has made a difference. My value honesty showed me that I need to be more honest to myself and others. Yes, being honest to ourselves, living our values with ourselves is not always the easiest part. And feeling resistance to them. It's interesting. And Sophrology brings in that more, you can become really aware of how we're actually living them, and feel them as well as think about them. Nice to see you, Elisa. Sorry you didn't manage to get onto the other link. Just asking, so is there anything else anybody would like to say about values? Values Day brings about the awareness that I feel strong on my 2 feet and wish to be respected. Respect is very powerful, isn't it? Okay, you know, am I respected or not? Do I respect others? It's a good thing to be aware of in relationships. Are we being respected? So the energy of love, first integration point, gratitude in the lower abdomen, dignity in the heart. I felt how I've grown from the past in all those values, how they make me feel complete today, and feeling the energy I have now to spread into the future. So we're going to, great exercise, Dorna. It's really important to think of one's values in a conscious way, becoming aware of what is important for us, making your values alive in your everyday life. It's so true that we need to just, values are just so important. And like I said at the beginning, actually, Professor Caicedo gave a whole speech just around values. He's in Geneva a few years ago, and it's very fascinating how that is such an important part of society, is an important part of everybody's life. And we're not often taught how important it is, or even the significance of our own personal values and how they play out in everything we do in life. So great big cheer for Values Day, World Values Day, and thank you for the people who set World Values Day up so we can become part of it. And still there's chats, lovely chats coming in. I became aware that the value loyalty is very important to me and my body. Loyal to ourselves, respect of ourselves, and this importance of really applying these values to ourselves, trusting ourselves, having faith in ourselves, and from confidence with faith, con and fido with faith. So just having that confidence, respect, and dignity is one of the astrology ones to as we go through life. So I am going to say goodbye to you now from World Values Day, and really, really happy that you joined me, and thank you very much. And looking forward to next year's World Values Day, and hoping there's all these sophrologists that are online with me today are going to be running their own programs next year. We'll be more aware of it and get started a lot earlier next year. So thank you very much for being with me. It's been a great pleasure being with you today. Goodbye.